Hey everyone, welcome to Amico Forever, episode 3. Hey, speaking of 3, Ghostbusters 3 is going to be coming out next month. How exciting is that? Anyways, let's not talk about Ghostbusters. Let's welcome PANDSUB2000, Geeks with Cash, Mr. Nick, who hopefully will be eating later, and Bob from George Games. What was the whole thing about the Q in the George? That's because I always thought it meant like that wasn't how to pronounce it. How was that like come about?
So that was due to chat rooms way back in the day. I got the nickname George with the G from work because I didn't like wearing a name tag. And so one of the customers asked, "Hey, what's your name?" And I'm like, "What do you think it is?" And he just said George, and so everyone else that overheard just kind of stuck with the nickname. Yeah. And then obviously George was used as a nickname online, so I'm like, well, the Q kind of looks like a G. So
I like the logo too, man.
And it's kind of stuck since then.
Do people call you George?
A lot of people try. I do try to correct them. Okay. I don't mind. It is what it looks like.
I always pronounce it George Gates just because it's a Q. It's not a G. So
I got some Oktoberfest.
I've been seeing
those. It's funny that a lot of people do try to call me George at first because that is what it looks like at first glance. And then they're like, wait, George?
We always start these podcasts off with a bang. Last time it was Seltzer.
We're doing
now we're talking about George.
I've got rye whiskey if that helps.
Oh,
why not?
Now, what brand do you have there?
I've got Whistle Pig Piggyback.
Wow.
I did laundry
Whistle
today.
Pig Piggyback.
Propel in a blue jar.
Propel.
There you go.
I mismatched my socks for fun. So
there you go.
So do I.
I'm not even wearing socks.
Whoa! I'm not wearing pants, so.
I was like, I wanted to, the other day I actually did that. I'm like, who's really seen? When am I ever taking like my shoes out? Like I had one dark gray sock and one white sock. I'm like, whatever. So I did mismatch them, but not for fun, just for normal wear.
My socks just go in the drawer, and I grab a two.
Yeah, you just pull whatever comes out.
It's like a claw machine, whatever it picks up.
Very much.
So a lot of stuff going on, and I think we're going to see. And we're talking about that in a bit. We're going to see a lot more coming from Intellivision. They just did that Utah office tour, which is kind of cool to see. Like their little, I shouldn't say little. It's a fairly decent sized office for a business, but it's their.
Was that their whole office, or do they have a section of that office?
There was a like that was. It looks like it's a really big building with a couple floors, and then they have different businesses in that building.
Okay, so it's not all on television.
For their Utah office. Their large building, I think, is the Irvine, California.
Yeah, I think they own that entire building.
Yeah.
What's sad is both of their offices, just for a startup, are nicer than offices I work in like a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah, right. Like the Utah office for like you could tell it's nothing fancy in there, but not a bad size. I mean, it even kept going, but it didn't keep going with it. So they got a good space there.
Yeah.
But it was kind of neat to see the other people, to see their customer support and people you talk to if you email them and stuff. So that was kind of neat.
I think that's the first time I've seen Brittany. I've corresponded with her through email.
Same
like
here.
Back when I was trying to order that hoodie. I'm like, so where is this, by the way?
Yeah, because as soon as he said, I was like, oh, dude, I remember corresponding an email exactly where. What's it say? Okay, I should say hi to everyone. What's up, chat? Mr. Rich. Slappy.
Brittany was at the event in Salt Lake, so.
Oh, that's really
Slappy's
cool.
got it right. That's exactly what you should do.
I only do laundry once per year.
I'm more just like wearing one pair for the entire year. That way I've got 365 years to go.
Not a bad idea.
I'm an idea guy.
One more quarter.
I don't know. The one for every day of the year is better than the what was it? Big Hero 6, the front, back, and inside out before you change the underwear. And I'm like, ew. Just ew, no.
You should see Walmart's home office. It's very Spartan.
I had no idea.
Like the Warriors?
Like the Michigan Spartans?
They've got
Just
like
a lot of
pit.
shirtless men.
They've got like a pit there that they call Thunderdome.
This is for Walmart.
And Walmart. Get 2 years. Oh my goodness. It always starts
Gross.
off with a bang.
Gross.
Oh, pardon me. Well, anyways, so Bob, you were at the event at what was it, Thanksgiving Point in Utah, and
Yes.
this is obviously your first time going in, checking out the Amico. What games did you play, and what was kind of your first thought on the controller and stuff like that?
So I think the entire family was drawn to Shark at first, and the controller was very smooth, smoother than I was expecting it to be. My daughter, who thought that the controllers were going to be, you can
Hi.
come in the view.
Hi.
She thought the controller disc was going to be bigger than it was.
Yeah, it's like the same
That's
size as
the
the
one.
one.
And then another daughter thought it would be more clicky, like in between positions, because there's
Yeah.
64
Yeah.
positions. She thought it would be a little more
Almost like a
clicky,
flat, like thumbsticks feel or
Yeah.
something, right?
and it wasn't. It was just totally smooth all the way around. And so my youngest daughter couldn't get away from Shark. It was the only thing that she played. But I noticed that pool was over in the corner, and so I kind of snuck off and started playing pool for a bit. And then other daughters noticed that I was playing pool, and they came and joined me. It was only a 2-player game, so I handed the controller off. But that was one of the best pool games I've played.
I'm excited to hear about this because that was one I did not play, and I didn't even think about asking, like, hey, because I knew that was available, I think probably at the time. I just not something that hit on my radar. But yeah, a couple people were saying stuff that it was running. So did it use motion control, or was it just mostly just buttons?
Mostly the screen and the disc.
Okay.
And then the buttons were to pull the cue back, and then you let the button go and it shoots. The screen was used for the rough angle, and if you could position the ball, you could toggle from stick mode to ball mode, and then you could move the ball, and then the ball was in the middle of the screen, and you could touch the ball to get where you wanted to strike the ball, so you could throw your English on it.
Right.
So that was
Everyone
really
come to the
cool.
dining room for dinner. Last call. We're going to have prayers without anyone who's not there.
I don't know if that came through the mic or not.
Yes,
but-
Satan?
Hello?
No, that was my wife
Oh, okay.
calling everyone for dinner.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the mountain time zone like Nick, so it's grub time.
It's hard to explain to people that like you actually eat food. Like they don't understand it.
I do. I drink water too.
What? No.
Overrated.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. Because I figured a giant, and was it basically it's just the billiard table is the screen? I'm taking it over like the overview of the screen.
Yeah,
Oh, that's sweet, man.
top view.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
And-
Because something like that, once again, a simple game can be fun, man. I played a few pool games. I was
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
playing, and it's a super old game, but it was the parlor games for Sega Master System, and they had a pool game and a dart game in there. But it was kind of, other than very outdated and very pixelated, it was still a fun game. And I was like, man, I can only imagine, something that actually looks nice,
May I ask
Yeah,
a question?
it did look pretty good. Yeah.
So you had said it's one of the better pool games you've played. What made it better than the other ones you've played?
The fact that it was Amico.
Oh, okay.
Control was a lot better because to get the rough angle just anywhere on the screen, and then the disc actually rotating that
Right.
gave
Yeah, that
the
makes
tighter
sense.
angle. Like most of them, it does have the angle of shot where the ball that you're going to strike is going to go, and the bounce off angle. So all of that was displayed. Tommy was very nice throughout the whole event. He came over, noticed we were playing, and my daughters were struggling slightly with trying to figure it out, and so he was explaining like how the controller works on this particular pool game, and it was really cool.
That's awesome, man.
Does the circle pad, is that also a button? Does that act as a center button if you click the center of it?
I don't think it has a center click.
Not
Okay.
that I was.
It
It's just
actually, yeah, it's a dial that has like, it's sort of pressure sensitive,
Okay.
so you can
It's
kind of
like
notice it.
64 buttons all around the disc.
Yeah, and you can see kind of looking from the back of the disc, it just kind of like it attaches
Okay.
there, but it doesn't really have any way of pushing. The seal is where it actually makes the connectivity to everything else that's around it. So as you press
That-
down on any side,
That was just a ploy for me to see your nails. That's the only reason
yeah,
why.
there you go. You can see my god
There's
awful
mine.
nails,
His too.
but yeah, it doesn't really have like a center press down mechanism like an analog stick does.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of us have made an analogy that it's kind of like it's sort of like an analog disc meets a D-pad.
Yeah, like a
Or my-
really giant flat like analog.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's. I
When
like
you've
it.
actually got your hand on it, if you've
Kinda
ever
like the-
if you ever messed
Yeah.
with like the 3DS and its analog movement, it feels a little bit more like that when you're actually using
Okay.
it, but it doesn't slide around like that.
Right.
You just kind of roll around and it stays stationary, right? So it feels a little bit more. At least to me, that's how it feels like
Yeah, that
because
makes
it's
sense.
recessed a little.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I worked on. I was wondering what you meant by that, Rab. He's like worked at leasing the mobile pool games. He goes leading is what we were looking for. No,
Yeah.
It's hard to look masculine sipping Pepsi from a straw.
Yes, he's doing it. That's his
Sell it,
trademark.
man. Sell it.
Pepsi Zero at that too, right?
Yeah, Pepsi
How
Zero.
real men drink their Pepsis.
Yeah,
Pinkies up.
double pinky.
I'm
Yeah,
pure alpha.
Oh no, that's Coke Zero. I was thinking there's Coke Zero taste almost like Tab. That would be my go-to if I had to switch, but I probably won't. 'Cause-
You're not selling me on Tab.
Oh, Tab is good.
Tab is good.
All that
I miss
saccharin.
Tab.
Yeah, no, the
Drink it,
controller
but
would
yeah.
absolutely work well for a Tempest game. It would work really well for like a Geometry Wars game, particularly like the
Yeah, it
well
would.
any of them really. Even the third one where it goes 3-dimensional, it would work well for that too. There's plenty of games that need that kind of like just smooth movement around the playfield.
Marble Madness would be
work well.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yes, I would love to see something like that. Like a
Oh, that'd be
reimagining.
perfect.
Or a monkey ball.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
you're-
gonna eat.
He's eating. Here it
There
is.
he goes.
Ooh. Do it slowly. You're hitting a fetish of mine.
I have to do like ASMR. I'm gonna have to move my pop filter
Yeah.
out of the way.
What are you dipping that in, sir?
So I can really cheese people off this week on the stream.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one person very, very upset with your eating on camera. It was just one person, though, but they were very vocal about it.
That's okay.
He's hooking up everybody with high C juice boxes next week. Well,
Oh,
thank you.
Ecto Cooler.
Thanks,
Dude,
Rab.
they're bringing
That's right. They
back-
need to bring back the Ecto Cooler, man. We got
They are,
Afterlife
man.
coming out, so we need an Ecto Cooler to come back.
Yep, they already
Yes,
said
we
they
do.
were. They announced they were.
Oh wow, cool.
That is awesome. So, what else? What was your favorite game? I mean, because mine was Astro Smash. I always went back to Astro Smash. I heard a ton of people were
Yes.
playing Moon Control though.
Astro Smash was probably my favorite there. I'm on with the show DJC Studio.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's coming into my man cave. It's kind of fun. So yeah, Aster Smash, I've always enjoyed the shooter.
Yep.
I just wish they had Night Stalker on.
Yeah,
would have
right.
been my jam. They didn't even
I'm
bring
wondering
it.
if they have enough
so-
of that ready. Yeah, I'm wondering if they have enough of that ready that they even want to show it. I mean, we've seen like short clips of it, but I don't know that they put much past that initial development stage on that one.
I think Tommy has said that there's not too much different in gameplay. There's just level differences. And so what we've already seen is pretty much what it is gameplay wise. As far as running
That's fair
around, getting
enough.
the gun, and so that's kind of why they haven't really shown it, but I believe there's going to be a sneak peek coming up on that soon.
That's very cool. Did you said you played Flying? Did you play Flying Tigers, or did you just say that?
Flying Tigers was on. Somebody requested to see it. It was on next to me. Again, my family kind of gravitated toward the Shark, so when I went back to it, they took the Aster Smash display and they turned that to Moon Patrol for a little bit.
Gotcha.
And then they put it back to Flying Tigers and then back to Aster Smash. So
Yeah, I guess I'm just an old school guy. That's why I liked Astro Smash. Like, I just can't wait to play through that game.
yeah.
Moon Patrol, I was pretty terrible at until it takes me a while to get a hold of stuff. Same. Now, did they have Space Strikers running at all?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I didn't ask about it. They may have brought it.
Yeah, I'm sure there were. Like on the one in the Pennsylvania, like they had a bunch of games on there, but we only had usually I think 4 TVs at a time. So at the event, and then we only had it on 2 TVs when we were doing the little private thing. So it was more or less most people playing. Although I did watch the 357 guys, they were playing Bomb Squad, not Bomb Squad.
Dino Blaster.
Dino Blaster.
Dino Blaster.
And it was a 4-player Dino Blaster, and I'm like, dude.
That just reminds me. It feels just like Bomberman to me from what I saw.
Bomberman. I never heard of Dino Blaster.
I think
I
that
heard
was the
it was up to
European
8
name of
people
it.
too.
Yeah, I think Dino Blasters, that was the European name for
Bomberman.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it looks good. I cannot wait to play that.
Was there anything that was surprising to you about the system? Going into it, anything surprised you about it? That
Well,
actually
I
can go
think-
for all of you because I'm the
Yeah.
only one that hasn't played it.
So I went in with a lot of high expectations because I've been following it forever, and I got to watch your live stream when you went out there, and the night before playing at John's house, and so I had high expectations because I felt like I knew what to expect, and it was more than that. So watching everybody's face, hey Rhea, watching everybody's face and the smiles, just you can't. I don't know how to describe how cool it was.
I'm not
To
sure where Panda's
see-
going. Panda's like losing it. What do you know what's going on, man?
there's a comment that should probably go, but it's a great
It
stream.
already went.
I'm trying to check. I'm trying to kind of monitor chat here. That's why if I'm going, huh? What did anyone say?
I didn't even see it before you guys got to it. I was like, wait a minute, what am I missing here?
Sorry.
But
Apologies.
that I knew there were going to be smiles and laughter and things like that, but not to the extent that it was. And it wasn't a huge event. There weren't too many people there, but the little groups that were playing the different games was just amazing to see all the faces and
That's cool, man. Yeah,
the happiness and joy going around.
Shark's a beautiful looking game, I must say. I mean, for a system that's not really a graphic powerhouse, I think it's a very great looking game. But I love the fluent turn with the
Yes.
disc and how you can make the fish just kind of swim and like it feels like you. I mean, it just controls really well. But I noticed, that is the ultimate kids game. The kids love Shark.
Yeah, it's like Little Nemo-ish.
That's
Yeah, it really is.
I want to be
Yeah.
Nemo. You know,
And
And you can choose your little Nemo fish
Yeah.
and change the
And-
color.
And to answer your question, Panda, a little more directly, I think the part wasn't so much the games or the controls, although I was glad to see that my faith in system was pretty much held up through actually playing it.
So awkward if it wasn't.
Right. It would have been very awkward had it not been. And I spent the whole weekend going, I really don't like this. I was glad that was not the case.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me, and to kind of reinforce Gorge's comment as well, is just people's reaction to it. Like, the more people, more often than not, when people got their hands on it, it's really weird to explain, and it sounds cheesy when you say it, but their eyes kind of lit up, and then they were like high-fiving. I saw people jumping around. I saw people acting like they were like kids again, playing it as adults. Right.
Yeah.
It was the strangest thing to see, like, grown adults. Like, it almost reminded me of. I mean, has anybody seen like Santa Claus 2, where they did the Secret Santa, and they're throwing all the old school toys, and they're playing, and they're having a good time? It reminded me of that, basically happening in real life. It was like the weirdest surreal thing ever. I think that was the most surprising thing, is to see people react that way to this thing, because it's not like video games are new now. They've been around for a while, right? Most everybody's played them. So, to see people get that kind of energetic about a game console and the games that are on it was kind of surprising and really, okay, to use a cheesy term, delightful to see.
Rather delightful.
That's rather.
Would you say it was lovely?
It was lovely, sir.
Yes, I would.
Oh man, I cannot wait to see bowling. Yeah, my old bowling game. Oh, that was probably. What are you talking about? My arcade? Or are you talking about the Intellivision one? Because the Intellivision one is flawless. Just kidding. No, I was probably talking about my old arcade one. But yeah, dude. My going into it, to go back to just kind of my first reaction on it. I was excited. I mean, I just love Intellivision. I always have. So my whole thing was, I think the most thing I wasn't worried about graphics or anything like about that, but I was worried about this. I was worried that the controller looks pretty awesome. Is it going to feel awesome? All this talk, I mean, loving it. And am I going to be disappointed? So, of course, I went in with super high expectations. And usually when that happens, you come out going, well, crap, that didn't turn out good. But they are kind of similar, solid build as this. They're not super heavy, but they're solid. And the controls, I mean, if you even look at this, it's the exact same size as the old one if you put the new one on top of it. Really smooth, nothing bust your fingers up. I was really impressed with it. I had time to look at it and try to, kind of get a feel for it even before I played. And then the first game I played with Mike Mullis was Astro Smash, and we did 2-player that. And I was like, oh my God, then you had the hyperspace wipe and on the screen. So it's like, I think a lot of people thought, oh, it's going to be a bunch of buttons on the screen. Well, it really isn't. Usually it's just the whole screen's a button. Or like in the Fox game, it's like inventory and click on your map and your weapon and stuff like that.
I'm excited for Utopia because I think they will have more buttons on the screen then.
Yes, I'm eating. I eat. It happens.
How many games are fully finished? I'd say a lot. I just don't know what is and what isn't. I'm pretty sure like most of the pack-ins, I'm guessing. Although I didn't play all the pack-ins.
You can ask any developer and they're going to tell you, is a game ever truly finished?
Yeah, I think most of the times they're gonna you're gonna kind of just keep updating until it's out, So I think right now, because I know that was happening with Cornhole, they had it done, but it was just kind of a simple toss game. And then they went back and they're just kind of tweaking different ways they can add features to it. So yeah. I think that's kind of cool.
They can only make it better at this point.
And I think that's a lot of the confusion with it. People are like, well, why aren't any of the games done? Well, a lot of the games are in a state that they could already release them, but since they have extra time, they're just trying to go back and tweak them.
Exactly.
Because they have time.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing it.
Yeah.
So, but everything that I played felt finished. It could release as is.
I think Astro Smash was completely done. We were getting pretty deep into it. I think someone got up to like level 7 in that, and they like past 2 bosses. I know.
I think I got pretty close to that. It was me, and I want to say one of the guys from like level 857.
Yeah, yeah.
And we got to like stage 5 or 6 at least.
I got to stage 9, so I have to
No.
Yeah.
Well, you were
Panda's
actually
showing.
flying
Panda's
into-
just throwing down. Let's see how it is. It's fine.
That's what I do. That's what I
I can
do.
get to stage 6 on the original.
I get to stage 7, so I'm just always the winner. My mom always said I'm the best, so
You went to
that's
7.
what I
You
got.
know there was a 7. You're really
Special!
Really good.
Yay!
No, so I just kept going back to Astro Smash. So I think I missed out on playing a lot of other stuff because I was playing a lot of Astro Smash, a lot of Flying Tigers, Space Strikers. Like that was one. Like that one needs to get its due, man, because
Space Strikers,
it's
you
just
said?
fun. What's that?
Would you say Space Strikers?
Space Strikers,
Oh.
which is it looks like Snafu in
Yep.
space, kind of the little
Yeah.
snaggy.
The one
ship.
in they just did on the tour. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
the whole thing about that is it's like so fun. Like you have like this, you each have a goal. There's usually like a shield or something to block, and they were saying there's 3 different versions. Like the one I had, it was like I always call it like a black hole or something, but it's like your goal here and a goal here, and then you each got a ship. But there's also this ball that bounces around, and in the center there's like this gravity slingshot, and you basically got to get your ship hooked on it, and then use the disc to kind of rotate, and it builds up momentum, and you can either bounce it off that gravity hole or sling it, at the right momentum, and it'll fly off to bounce and break the shield, and then eventually score. My whole thing was learning curve on, okay, I suck. I'm not the greatest, so it takes me forever in a lot of games like that. But like once I got the hang of it, I'm like, dude, this is going to be an addictive game. Like that was one that surprised me, that as simple as that looks, you really got to play it. And that's why if you always notice, they did office tours at the other office, and then they did this Utah office. They're always playing Space Strikers. It seems to be like an office favorite. If they're gonna
It's one of those that doesn't make any sense until you actually play it, and then you all of a sudden you go, "Oh."
100%.
Yeah.
Ted's got a good statement here too.
Yeah,
Ted's question
they do
about
that
the UI?
Yep.
Every time they talk about it, so it's just they just want those clicks, I guess. Is it this one here? Panel's thought on the UI and
Are you guys allowed to talk about the UI?
being talk.
I don't think we can talk specifics.
Yeah,
I think that's probably part of it, Ted.
I mean, we saw it; it was fine. I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it could have launched with that, and I would have been happy.
Oh yeah,
I didn't have any problem with it. Now they said they had some work in it, but they didn't detail out what kind of work they had on it. I know they didn't want us filming it, so that's why you didn't see any footage on it from us. From my standpoint, we easily could have shown it, and it wasn't a problem because it looked finished to me.
And like I guess me being an old school gamer, like I don't really care. I could care less if it was like literally old Intellivision font on a black background, and you just went like that to select the game. As long as the games are fun, I mean. Rab says, with Final Polish, the team is spending their polish hours on other tasks. Their chief music guy, for instance, is also CEO. He has a running backlog, probably spending more time fundraising than planned. Yep. Very true.
That Pat and Ian thing, the best part about it is that Ian says, well, we don't really have anything to talk about. And then you see Pat try, like, almost have a small panic attack and go like, no, but there's important things to talk about. Like, they just admitted that really it's just a slow news week. We need clicks. So let's just analyze a tour of an office. It reminds me of a gossip. It reminds me of like a gossip show where they analyze and scrutinize like women's dresses and just like, it's so dull. It's a
great analogy there.
I was kind of shocked to see Cyrus's video today, and I still haven't made it through it. I looked at it, clicked on it, and went, I don't have an hour to go over an 8-minute video of the tour of the office. What's going on?
I watched it. I thought it was pretty neat. He kind of just was calling it, just kind of saying what it was.
Wait,
I guess some people were saying, "Oh, this, why are they spending about?" I didn't dive too deep into everyone else's videos on that. I did I think a 2-minute recap on it just because.
Did you say Cyrus did that?
Yeah.
It was the Amico Joy channel.
Yeah, I didn't know Cyrus was still doing things.
Yeah, it's more or less not on camera, more or less just commentary over a video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I thought that was pretty cool. he was kind of just going in depth to kind of where the offices are as opposed to Irvine and Utah, and you know how it looked. And I guess there was people that were saying there's people saying that they're like, oh, they're spending so much money. Look at the size of the building. It's like, no, that's it's not their central. That's just their office in that part, that state. And they're just, they're obviously probably renting out that office space in the giant building. It wasn't like they went, let's spend millions on a giant building. That was not the case. And I think
but who cares? I say this every podcast.
Break down everything.
Who cares? Do you remember when Pat used to make things? Like he used to make shows that, it was a poor man's AVGN, but it was mildly entertaining, right? It was decent. He used to write skits and all that little fun stuff, and now he's commenting on Office Space. Like that's the dullest. Not that I'm any more exciting talking about it, but like it just get a different topic. I don't know. What do I know?
What it boils down to is them trying to spin it in such a way that they can say, well, look how frivolously this guy spends money. He doesn't know how to run a company, blah, 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 kind of thing, rather than just, we have people in various different locations so that they're closer to certain things. That's pretty common, even for startups.
All that money and needing more.
Well, hey, yeah. If you like watching that content, then make sure you pick up Manscaped, right? Wait, why am I plugging that? No, but yeah, I cannot wait to play again. I hope like something, and I'll kind of just let me pull it up here if I can get it up. Tommy had posted what he called the Amico update on Atari Age and on Facebook.
I haven't read that yet.
And I'm just gonna go through it. It's kind of long, so I'll just kind of go. It says we are very aware that folks currently following Amico, good, bad, or indifferent, would like the following info. So everybody's asking about this: our menu and user interface, physical bot collector's game product, what's in the box, seeing more in-depth gameplay footage, and where's all the family marketing we keep hearing about. He goes, all 100% totally fair and understandable. And he'll go through. So basically what he's saying is, here we go. So let me go a little farther. He goes, our original plan was to hold back the 4 points as above, as much possible and closer to launch, as we have some really incredible partnerships. Working with, huge YouTubers like a million, 10 million plus, popular TV talk shows. Big family website. He goes, content is key when you're a small company like us, getting on bigger platforms. So a lot of when you provide exclusive content, that's what they were saving all this stuff for. It's not that they didn't want to show us, is they were just, trying to. Sorry, chat. They were just trying to like save it for this closer to launch, and obviously weren't expecting to be delayed again. Yeah, and employees did seem happy.
Yes, they did.
Yes,
how are you unhappy at a game company?
At a video game company, right?
Well, I think what has a lot of these people really excited about it, even more than working at a game company, because most of these guys are veterans in this industry. And in any industry, you stay in it long enough, it's very easy to get jaded, right?
Yeah.
Is the fact that they're doing things a little bit differently. They're handling a little bit differently. They're getting, instead of coming to something that's established, they're getting a chance to build it from the ground up. So it's a new challenge.
Right.
And they're given a lot of what feels like, at least from what I can get, levity in how they approach that, which generally tends to make people a little bit happier when we have a lot more say and stake in what they do and how they do it, rather than just being given marching orders, which is what a lot of development houses do now.
Yeah. Could be EA Sports. Rab says it's a commercial business park. I think there's a disconnect in how regular life works. A nice office. They're probably saving over the years based on QA support, logistics there versus Irvine cost of living. Hey, very true. So it's even saving money and doing that stuff over there.
Why isn't that smart SOB on here right now? Why is he texting?
I think he can't be on right now, but he's more than welcome to come on though.
Yeah.
Let me know, Rab, if you do want to actually come on.
I'm like Rab's biggest fan because he's so smart. He could be making it all up, but he does it so convincingly.
Now you're gonna make his head go. It's good. Now we're not gonna be able to fit him. We're gonna have to use two panels.
Yeah. And we're gonna need a panel just for Reb. And I feel slighted. I thought I was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever.
No, dude, you didn't. I was hoping you were going to eat a burrito tonight. You took away my fetishes.
But basically, what he's kind of saying in this is, blah blah blah. Goes through everything, everything that's been going on. He goes, so in the spirit, I'd like everyone to know that the 4 important points of the above information will be addressed and revealed shortly. He goes, please don't ask me to hold any type of date. I think a lot of you know that October 10th is a very special date. So if we can do 1 or even 2 of those things from that list, then by then we definitely will. Or it says then we will. That being said, October, November is a busy time for us in regards to showing a lot more information that people have been asked for. So far they've done events in Dallas, Philly, Orange County, California, Salt Lake City areas, and next up, Boston. So that'll be, and you just go to Intellivision.com to find out, the next thing. So he appreciates everyone and their patience, but yeah, he goes, so there's going to be a lot more. I think we're going to hope maybe we'll see some more gameplay trailers. Maybe, yeah. I figured that's what he was saying, so that's why he's got the kids and the wife there. He's just kind of hanging out in chat.
I know. I like these office tour vids. I like them showing the guys and talking to them.
But gameplay, right?
I was telling Tommy when he hit me up about that article, I'm like, his videos are good because it personalizes the people behind all this, right?
Right.
It's not just Tommy in front of the camera. You're getting to see all the other people that are there. Their livelihood is tied to this. They're working on this. They're excited about this. And you can tell when they talk to them, like how they feel about their work, right?
Oh, yeah. Everybody is like freaking happy. Like from this. I mean, I know there's only a few people at this office, a smaller office, but like look at the Irvine one, man. Like everybody was having a blast. Mm-hmm. There was no one that was kind of like, I got to get this done, or this is, like I mean, that's how it should be. Like who wouldn't want to work for any type of video game company, developer, anything that has to do with video games? Like, my God, that's fun. I would love to do something like that.
Oh yeah.
That way I can pitch Ice Cream Cowboy. I'll eventually be. I'm in Amico. Kidding.
You and I need to talk, Chuck.
Yeah.
And Ben, I doubt I will make it to too many games. I kind of want to go to that one. I have never been to that one before. I didn't even know about it until I got hooked in with like this crowd, and apparently it's like a niche East Coast thing. All my stuff is like what I catch way the heck over here in Colorado, right? So it's a trip for me to make for sure.
Oh, it's a trip for you, boo-hoo. You're in Colorado. I'm in effing space, so.
Well,
it's a hell of a journey.
I can't help it that you somehow got a sub in space and then got stuck, sir. That's your own fault, sir. That's poor logistical planning, sir.
Hey.
Harlem Globetrotters, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see how that turns. I think that's going to be a fun NBA Jam, but even funnier video game in that kind of essence. I think that's going to be a really... I'm excited about that.
That's actually a really good point. Like NBA Jam with even more humor. I think that's a great. That's like,
yeah,
I'd be all over that.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that one does well, so they can do another one with like more teams. I know they said they were only going to have like, I want to say it was like 2 or 4 teams or something like that. It was going to be kind of limited scope in the beginning. It looks like it sounds like it'll still be a lot of fun, but I'm hoping the scope with like the number of like teams and stuff like that would be like added onto, or another one would be done down the road, because I know they said they weren't going to do DLC, but if a game was popular, they would potentially do, like, say, a sequel and make it a little bit bigger.
I love Johnny Epps goes, kind of weird picturing Rab at candlelight with his wife in his face staring into his screen to chat with us.
Yeah.
I just like that he has a candle. Like, is that what you do with your wife? Light the candles.
And his wife just sitting there going, really? Really?
You didn't pay the bills again?
The lights go. Get the candlelight. If Intellivision pulls out a new console despite the pandemic, how satisfying will that be for the Intellivision team? Absolutely. That's like people don't realize they're behind a good year and a half. I mean, this year has not been any better. I mean, at least they're getting to work together now. Trying to do stuff over phone and internet and Skype chats is not kind of when you're trying to develop and place a game, I can only imagine. Available on the availability of controller screens.
I have not. That was one of the blockers for the controller a while back, but I've not heard any kind of update from Tommy. And quite frankly, Tommy doesn't really owe us updates on that. The fact that he shared that initially was nice.
Yeah.
But I could see him playing that close to the chest, just trying to get it done.
Pete, where are you?
He always pops up for like 5 minutes.
He's probably in here someplace. I'm like looking. Let me just sort through. No, but I think.
Hey, everybody!
I think everyone that. By the way, did you see OEB Pete's newest video? He was wearing a Astro Smash shirt. He must be a big fan or know where to get the merchandise. I won't tell. Nick knows. Right.
I do too. So I'm in the loop.
You're gonna know pretty soon.
He's in the loop in space.
In a panda sub. Where was I going with this?
Does Amazon even deliver out there?
What's that?
Does Amazon even deliver out there to you, Panda Sub?
No, it's a bitch to get anything out here. Seriously.
At least you get to see Bezos and the other guy kind of fly past.
Yeah.
Their little ship.
Yeah, so let SOB fly right by. Yes.
Just flipping each other off as they fling $1,000 bills at each other.
Yep.
So funny, man. Available nowhere. Yeah, I really think that's going back to that, like that to do something like this during like. I guess I understand people, and like everybody's disappointed, but like, and I know this is kicking a horse or breaking an old record, whatever cliche you want to throw at that. And I always bring this up, but it's you had a full year where we were just nothing, and then before that everything was like a-okay. It just kind of abruptly when did that start? March, something like beginning of March, where people were like, okay, this is a serious thing.
March is when the lockdown happened.
Yeah, when they started locking down stuff, and you couldn't. People were like, "Oh, whatever, quality of life over business." And next thing you know, like everything's kind of shutting down. And so you think about that. Pretty much all of that last year, and before that, they're like, I'm sure they were like, "Oh, we'll get all our parts in this part of 2020," and you don't expect. And then all of a sudden, all the parts are not available, or the prices are 10 times what they used to be. And to put out a console the way they wanted to for the price that they wanted to, even after kind of upgrading it from the original price because they wanted a better screen, they wanted a better build, they wanted better features. That's kind of because everybody keeps bringing up that old 2018 thing. Well, it was supposed to be $140 or 100. Yeah, they were hoping $149 to $199, but then they were like, but if we do this, then this may break soon. We don't want a crappy screen. We want something more responsive, more durable. Then we should build this better. This would be a cool thing. And I think they've shared, and Tommy kind of said that in the Amico update thing that he posted, is that he as a CEO, he's been so really very transparent in kind of showing us everything, even like our little YouTubers, but just getting into the gaming community and people that play video games. Like he's one of us, kind of, like that in that aspect. He's a gaming fan, and he's a super, like Intellivision was like his favorite. So I understand that because it was my favorite. I just don't have the money to buy Intellivision, But so I understand the passion that he wants to. That he was updating us for the last few years, which no CEO does that. Like Nintendo just keeps everything hush hush, or PlayStation or Xbox. All these big companies are going to keep everything hush hush, and they'll do like a trailer or so, like a month or two before it launches, and then it launches. They don't give you all this behind the scenes stuff. Check out the progress. Oh, the machine's finally running. Oh, check it out. This is going to be our controller. Oh, we changed the buttons. Like, I think Tommy and Intellivision have been completely transparent. And I think, unfortunately, some of this, if you want to call it hate or anger, for even fans that were all about it at the beginning, is because I think that because they kind of stopped and were kind of getting down to business to try to get some stuff going. They're like, okay, where are the more updates? We got to see more gameplay. We need to see this. We need to see this. And you got to understand, man, they've showed a ton. And sometimes there's not going to be enough left to show. I think we've seen a lot. Heck, we've played it, That's my rant, but someone else.
No, Nick was going to talk.
No, go ahead, man. Go.
I'm gonna veer off topic. So why don't you go?
Let's say, I think part of it comes down to, and I've said this before, they need more of the stuff on the main Intellivision site. Because if you go to that site, you've got videos, like even when you go to Tech Republic and all that, when they're looking at it, they're like, well, yeah, we had a video from like 2018, and then there was an updated video in 2019, and it was basically the footage from 2018, right? So yeah, you've got some video coverage and you've got some transparency, but a lot of its transparency is on other people's channels. It's not through their own channel. And I think that's something that they're slowly kind of starting to fix, right? Because the Intellivision channel itself rarely ever posts a video up. When it does, I always check it out, but they don't put up videos all that often, dude. They really don't. And so when people go to look at it and you go to the Intellivision site and it links you to their YouTube channel, and their YouTube channel looks barren, right? And you have to go to like little people like me and you and other YouTubers, and then you got
I have 5 million subscribers. I'm not small.
Yeah, well,
Don't
damn, you need
already.
You need to
Y'all
share.
are peasants.
You need to share the love, my friend.
Nah, I hoard. I greedy. I'm very greedy. Sorry.
Panda paid them all off.
But I mean, when you're having to go out to areas like that to try to find it, and then you run into all these disparaging videos while you're looking for that content, it becomes a lot more sketchy, right? So I think it's better for them to do more stuff in house and put it up on their site than just to share information out to us. Not that I don't appreciate that, I do, but I think people need to be going to the Intellivision YouTube channel and their page first.
Yeah, if you're interested in purchasing or pre-ordering, which you get your money back, you just throw $100 down, and if you want to say I don't like it anymore and want it back, it's not a problem. So zero scam.
Can I switch gears for a second? Oh, you're talking. I'm sorry. There's a delay. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, and if you're an investor, check out Intellivision's official videos to see, the actual, because there's so much toxic content when you go to a YouTube search. I mean, you may see a few videos from fans like myself or other people here on the panels. But yeah, like I said, do real research on what it really is, because you're going to see a lot of misinformation and non-facts that people think are facts, I should say. Well, go ahead, Panda. What were you going to say?
Yeah, so I actually want to, if it's okay, move to something kind of fun and positive.
Yes, please.
So let's
fun, positive.
Yeah,
That's not this channel.
Sorry. So I wanted to kind of ask you guys. Jump however long it is in the future, the system comes out. What do you guys have planned for the system and your channels, and what do you think the dynamics are for people on YouTube to play the system? Because it's obviously something that's enjoyed more with a group, right? That's trying to show not just you solo playing it. So I'm curious if you guys have anything fun planned when this thing hopefully comes out.
I want to play it with my family.
Yeah.
So you would put them on camera?
Show that out. Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I think for me, I think unboxing it's going to be the first thing, and then setting up a camera where you can see the lights interacting with the games, because that's something that we've not seen a lot of. And I think that's a cool feature that would be neat to have a camera showing that off to the side while you're playing the game, so that people can kind of get that conceptually in their head. I think that would be another fun thing. The other thing is, in order to play with other people, I think we're going to have to set sort of like impromptu tournaments up where, like, you've got two people streaming and you're showing them there. It's finding some way to try to get the gameplay on the screen so you can see them kind of going head to head against each other and talking about where they're at, where the scores is at while people are watching it. If you can mark that out, I think that would be really cool to do, because you can't really compete online against each other, right? So you got to find a way to make that feel local with not being local, right?
Well, I think, like, to me, that's such a big selling point, is especially our age group, which grew up with couch co-op as a thing. I think a lot of people have good memories of Mario Kart, GoldenEye, the usual suspects. But to see people having a lot of fun playing it is something that's so different from what's usually on YouTube and Twitch, which is typically a solo experience playing an online game. I think there's something really fun about a group of people having that party-like atmosphere doing it. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I don't have many friends, but I have a lot of puppets. So I'm looking forward to them putting a controller in all their hands and me figuring out how I'm going to put my hands up all their butts to play. So.
And this just went to an R rating.
They're puppets, not people.
You was gonna go R at some point anyway.
I don't know why that you waste your time with puppets, because puppets are not really that fun. Hey, old DJC with the beard and long hair, get away. Anyway, no.
I'm so happy you had that just ready on command. Do you just travel with that everywhere you go?
I won't tell.
He's his own best friend.
I am.
I don't feel so alone anymore.
Does he talk back to you?
All the
don't
time.
answer that.
All the time. He does a lot.
There you go.
Anyways, no, my thing is the party machine. Like my family, I want to get pictures of my family playing the trivia, the board games, the back talk parties, the emoji charades. And I have an arcade out here in my basement that I collect and refurbish arcades for years. It's just a passion. I love arcade games as well as console games. And but anyways, I have a bunch of TVs, that I have over my bar, and then a couple big ones I use for like pay-per-views and stuff. But I want to have like Amicos hooked up on a couple different TVs, and I want to have like a party and kind of film that party. Almost in the kind of how it was in Pennsylvania, because it was so much fun, having everybody just kind of play and just gathering around TVs. Two people get up and two other people sit down and start playing a game together. But the emoji charades and the bomb squad, and I know I keep saying this, but those are the ones I cannot wait to have a group of people and film that.
Yeah.
Film us having fun, as well as doing like breakdowns into each of the games and beating the games and doing reviews on games. Eventually, I'll learn how OBS works, and I'll actually be able to stream a game.
Chuck, we just gotta sit down one weekend, man. This stuff's not that hard, dude.
Nick, let me fill you in on something. So, just a little thing again. DJC and I have been trying to work out something, but for an entire weekend we couldn't figure out a text message, and I'm sadly not kidding.
He was like, he said, what was it on Friday, and like got was it Monday? No, was it Monday?
Monday or Tuesday? You got a text message.
All of a sudden, like he texts testing, and as soon as he texts testing, all of a sudden, brrr, all these messages come through my phone. But they're from like Friday.
So there's no hope for us, Nick.
And I'm emailing them going, straight up email. I might as well wrote him a letter. And
I don't even do
by candlelight.
I don't even do tech support for my family anymore. I don't know how I ended up in the retro gaming community where everybody's like, yeah, I learned about this new thing called an Elgato. And I'm like, that's existed for like 10 years. And then there's this cool program called OBS that I haven't learned yet. And I'm like, oh god!
There's this amazing thing called AOL and GeoCities that
I had a GeoCities account.
I got a 56K modem. Yeah. I'm set.
I had a GeoCities in the late 90s.
I think I had Earthlink.
Doing what do they call that? HTML? What do they call that? What do them kids call those things with the codes and the numbers?
Them kids don't do HTML anymore.
No, they don't.
I used to remember like how to make like font size equals this and blah blah blah, and like my brain works, and this is great because when I meet people and people go, "Hey, Chuck," and I'm like, "Hey, you, so good to see you." Like I don't remember anyone's name unless I'm literally talking to them, pretty much daily. Like if I don't see someone, like if someone that's seen me a million times, but like I see them, I don't know, twice in a year, they're always like, Chuck, this one guy came up. Okay, this is going to go off on a tangent. This one guy come up to me at a bar about a month or two ago. There's a band playing, and you know how you'll sometimes say stuff to get out of a conversation? Instead of like saying, no, you're wrong, you must be thinking that, I just go, yeah, cool. And I like it. So he gets up, and the guy comes, he's a big dude, and he comes over, and he goes, hey, man, how you doing? And I go, hey, what's going on, brother? He's like, oh, dude, I didn't know you were going to be here. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I have no clue who this person is. Like,
please say it's a family member.
He said, yeah, right. He's like, dude, it's no, but he's like, yeah, dude. He goes, you obviously know the guitar player, right? And I'm like, Oh yeah, cool. You know, no, I don't. I'm getting up to leave with some friends. He goes, oh, well, I'm here with the family and everyone. He goes, oh, we were wondering if you can come and sit with us. I'm like, who is this? Then I start thinking, maybe he's making the mistake and thinks I'm someone else. But I'm like, then I look, I go, no one's going to cut off and wristbands and weird logos all over him. I'm like, he has to know who I am from something. I don't know. About another month goes by. There at the time, at like a Friday night, the band comes on, and we're, usually when the band comes on, I'm like, okay, it's getting too loud in here. I just wanted a couple beers. I'm going to take off. I get up to leave, and he comes and he goes, hey, dude, pulls me in. Hey, good to see you again. Are you sticking around? I'm like, no, brother. The girl that's with me said that what should have said is, oh, who's this? And I go, oh, hold on, I think I forgot something. And I like go back over to the bar because I didn't want to engage in that conversation. And then he goes, well, hey, we'll be over here sitting. And he walks away. I'm like, darn it. So I go to her, I go, did he say what his name was? I don't know who he is. To this day, I do not know the mystery man. But every time he sees me, he thinks we are like family. I feel really bad. And watch it just be, he's probably like, I watch you all the time. You told that story on your stream. Well, at least
It was me, you son of a...
you're right.
Don't feel too bad. There's a lot of people that I deal with on a regular basis that I don't know their names at all.
Yeah,
But they know my name.
That's how my brain is, dude. Yeah. And that goes back to like, so when I learn something and I don't use it, my brain goes, well, you don't need that information anymore. It's gone. So like all my HTML stuff that I used to know, obviously I don't need that. It's gone. But I can remember all my childhood phone numbers. I know all my neighbor's number, my friend's number, all the landlines that are disconnected now.
Now you don't need to know.
Yeah, you don't need to
You
know
pop it
anything.
in your phone and you don't need to know.
See, you kept the
phone number.
useless information and dropped the knowledge you could have used.
Yeah,
You know,
like how to
standard-
use text messaging.
Like people's names.
We say we could pick up Tommy and throw him in the air and catch him, of course. Oh, is this the celebration over the Amico?
Yeah, I do feel like we could actually toss Tommy up in the air and catch him effectively. He's not that heavy of a guy.
He's small enough.
Yeah.
Not Mike, though. Michael.
Oh, no, not Mike. Mike's a big
He will
dude.
kick our ass. He'll just be like, I'm just
Speaking
kidding.
of heavy, did you guys get to touch the console itself? I'm curious to see how light or heavy
It's
it is.
pretty light, dude.
It's
It's not that heavy.
very
That's
light.
what I kind of thought it would be.
Yeah,
Very
I
light.
yeah, it was like I liked the Glacier White one. Like when he brought out the newest version of that. At first that was like the least color I wanted in a console. But then when I saw it all shiny with everything shiny white, like glossy, I was like, dude, that's beautiful.
See, I was really
They're all
surprised.
beautiful.
I was surprised by the graphite black. Just that slight, like
Yeah.
grayish hue to the black really made the lights pop on that one. I thought that one looked really cool.
Yeah, I like the purple I like, but I'm kind of like this close to wanting to pre-order it just because why not do a third? But the wood grain is where it's at for me, and well, I got the black on order too, the VIP black, the Founders wood grain.
Yeah, I've got two of them ordered. One I'm going to send to my mom. The other one I'm going to keep.
Oh, that's
I don't
cool.
need two of them in my house, and my mom I think will have fun with it. So
I'm doing one
Well,
upstairs.
he is a geek with cash, so he can do
He
that.
definitely is. I've seen his camera setup. It's he might say, I think I said Skywalker Ranch or something on the side.
what? No.
No, you had like a really sweet camera though. I remember looking at you. I had this. It's right here. This is the crappiest, and I knew what I was getting. I'm just cheap and don't have money, so I'm like, I'm gonna get a 4K camera. Look, it says Pro 4K. No, that's the brand. It is not even 720.
Would you
And
get it
it's
at
on
a street
there, like,
vendor? Where did
I
you?
got it Amazon for $89.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, it's one of those. So I'm like this. I'll bring this. I'm there like this, and my video's all fuzzy and crappy. No lighting. I look over, and Nick has got this beautiful. I believe it was a Sony,
Yeah.
and this full setup. Like, and I was like, dude. I don't call my channel Geeks with Cash for like, I call it that for a reason. I was like, no shit, man. That was
As I
awesome.
always say, I want to see geeks with food stamps. That's the YouTube channel I want
That's
to
the
follow.
next channel.
Yeah.
I need to like get some dirt on my face and bag, and I can walk a camera and go. Today we're going to count food stamps.
Today we're saving up for bread.
I almost have enough.
As an 8-bit
I heard
fan, I worry
OAB
about
Pete's
what-
got all of them on pre-order.
To be clear, I'm not making fun of poor people. I'm making fun of the fact that I think Geeks with Cash is such a pretentious name that I would like an equal contrast, is all I'm saying.
I do
could
think
probably
I
do
actually
Geeks
have
with
turned
Food.
people off by the channel name, to be
Oh,
honest.
yeah.
with
Oh,
you.
it's pretentious. I mean, you're the least pretentious guy I know, but the channel is pretty pretentious.
Where does the VCR tape go? I know, I always say that too.
And another thing I want to set straight is
feel that?
I have been sniffing like crazy. Just to be, I do not have a coke.
Well, you have
problem.
no immune system to speak of. We
Yeah.
know this.
I have allergies. This panda is killing me during this fall season. Woo! Don't even get me started.
Yeah, I'm really this close to getting Galaxy Purple though.
Oh,
Because
the purple one's nice.
dude,
I
purple's
thought
like
that
my
one was
favorite
okay,
color.
but I wasn't
I'm
as
getting
sold on it as
purple.
I was the others. I don't know. It's nice, but I would have liked it better if it had had more of like a matte purple to go with that, like shiny kind of galaxy part of it instead of the gray. I don't know. I find the gray a little off-putting on that one for some reason. I don't know. It's personal preference. I'm not huge on purple anyway, so it's no big loss to me. I mean, there's plenty of colors that are cool looking.
I like
I like the
think a lot of
contrast
it-
with the gray.
Yeah.
See,
Cool.
and everybody's
Whatever.
different. So
I like the Tron one. I like that.
yeah,
That was
that's
what I-
probably one of my
It
favorites.
came down to it. I was like, do I want? Because I mean, back then it was it was either the black and white VIP or the wood grain VIP.
Daniel's in chat. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, what's up, dude?
What's up, Daniel?
Yeah, like I was like, well, I've definitely got the wood grain, but then I was like, okay, I want to do one other one. So I'm like, do I go? And at the time, I think it was just the white and the black, and I was like, no, I just the white. I don't know if it reminded me of like a Wii. And at
Oh
the
yeah,
time,
it has
they
Wii
told-
vibes.
I think that's
And it had
actually
that-
completely intentional.
The
To
gray,
be honest,
the gray stripe around it,
Oh,
like
sure.
in the one behind Nick there, kind of that promo, the
yeah,
demo kind of look. And
yeah,
then,
it's an old promo shot where it's
yeah.
like it actually had some gray, and then they removed that
But
and
was
made
there
it
an
like a
official-
gloss white.
Is there an
It's all-
official version, and then is there one particular brand that's the official, and everything else is just like a partnered program?
I think white and black are going to be just their main one.
That's their main
Yeah.
official.
I think
standard.
everything else is exclusive, special. The wood grain is just through Intellivision, and I think that was only for pre-orders, like and I don't think.
Yeah, that's the founders. I think you might be able to order it past that,
VIP and
but you have to order it from Intellivision specifically to get that one. The white and the black, I think you can order from other retailers. The Galaxy Purple is specific to GameStop. That's a GameStop only, and that one comes with, I want to say, like $50 gift card, doesn't it?
25.
And
Yeah,
the
$50 for
red one that we don't know where that's going, right?
I haven't heard anything about the red one in
It
a while.
has to be Target. How is that not Target?
that makes sense, dude.
I'm
really
so
makes-
annoyed with Target exclusives, though.
Yeah, but how is it not Target?
I
It's like-
understand, but
That would be perfect.
being a toy collector and trying to
still
collect
could
stuff
be
that Target
Walmart.
puts on their site, it's very
Yeah,
frustrating,
yeah,
dude.
you're right. Could be Walmart.
Because the Wii that was red was exclusive to Walmart.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
strange. It's like
That is
Target
really
would want
bizarre.
that.
What if they did a bright yellow Best Buy?
That's
You wanna
epic.
get
Yes, we turned the laundry room to my man cave.
Can I just
Yes.
say that the laundry room is epic, but not the in space?
Laundry in space!
What do I have to do?
in space.
Man, if you hang dry your clothes in space, they're all gonna just like shatter. That
Yeah.
moisture's just gonna be a pain.
It's a bitch.
Yeah, I think Bob might be right on that too. And Swami said too. He goes, yeah, he's already talking to Walmart, so it's probably going to be a Walmart exclusive. But the red would fit too perfect with Target.
Yeah, I think it's a better fit aesthetically with Target. I think if they do them with Walmart, they ought to do like a blue and orange kind of color
Yeah.
thing for them. It might be like orange buttons with like a blue face, that kind of thing. I think that would be kind of cool. But again, it's more. It's more plastic that they've got to kind of look at and get the look out of it right and go through all that rigmarole that they did with the ones that they already have. So let's not do that just yet. Let's at least get a console out.
Yeah, I mean, now it's like, yeah, I mean, obviously, when everything was all good, ready to go, they're like, yeah, how many colors is there? Was it 1, 2, 3, 5 colors, right? Now they're probably like, darn it, we should have just done black. But no, whatever. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait to get the I think my wood grain is going to be basically my upstairs, rarely played one. And then the downstairs one will be the one that'll just be all used a lot, which will be the black one. And then maybe I'll get a Galaxy Purple just to keep in here and use for streams and stuff. But the cool thing is the controller skins, which we don't bring up a lot. The cool different decals that they had on those, because I think I was playing one, it was a bunch of llamas. Then there was one that was like butterflies.
Ooh, you had me at llamas.
Yeah. And then they had one. Like I grabbed one, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play
I'm
with
a
this.
simpleton.
Tommy's like, oh, you picked the llama one, huh? I was like, well, the cool space one was being used. No. But
they didn't bring any of those to Utah.
I'm not big on this. I'm not big on skins on controllers like that. I don't know.
Like they were part of the controller because I think they were like it looked like it was underneath the. I don't know. I'd have to.
Nah, it's a decal, dude. It's a vinyl
decal.
It
looked really cool.
I mean, they did a good job of applying it to the controller, but it's a vinyl decal. I mean, if
you
I'm going to do like a
decal.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to do a custom controller thing, and we all kind of talked, I can't remember if it was on stream or not. We talked to Tommy about this, about letting people like custom do their controllers. Like he's got his, like he calls this Franken controller. Let people pick which parts they want to put in their controller, have it assembled there, and have it sent to them. I think that would be a cool idea because Microsoft's had great success with people buying way more controllers than they need, just because they've offered good color palettes and like interesting combinations that people can do. And it's no big skin off their back, right? I mean, they've got the parts there.
Yeah. And the limited gold Amico, the wood grain has the gold banding and the gold disc. So it's kind of, that'd be the closest to gold. But I know what you mean. It'd be kind of neat for like a gold plated one or something. Like a gold record. Agreed on blue for Walmart. Yeah, there you go, right?
Whoever said that's a genius.
Jew.
Oh, you said that too, Nick? Damn it, that's right. You did say that.
That's right. I think I beat you to that. I even mentioned yellow buttons and possibly a yellow disc.
Ooh,
foiled again. Damn it.
Wood grain's cool, but the purple, the purple one, I think it does look cool too. I'm kind of biased because purple's like my #1 favorite color, like a good royal purple.
Ooh,
I just love that.
Me too. Yeah, purple's my favorite. Yeah. This and many more exciting topics on the podcast. What's your favorite color? Let's debate.
Your favorite color?
It's a slow news week, guys. I mean, we got a video tour, right? Which is cool. People went to the event in Utah.
Dude, I agree with you right here. I am all about, as soon as that physical media is available, whatever I can afford, I'm gonna hoard. I made it rhyme, and if I had the time, anyway.
You're a lyrical master, man.
Not really.
Yeah, we heard the songs.
I'm curious to see when the physical media becomes public knowledge what the actual overall reaction is. What I saw of it, I thought was pretty cool. But I'm curious to see what the general public's reaction is going to be to it whenever they get a feel for it.
Oh, for just seeing that controller for the first time.
I'm just talking about the physical media in general.
Physical media.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which none of you guys have seen, I take it, right?
Yeah, we have.
Or we have. Oh, okay.
I haven't.
Which, I mean, you never know.
I'm not allowed to speak of any details on it, but yes, I have seen it.
You've seen it.
The Merlin's ringing. Hold on. Tommy? No, just kidding. I swear we didn't. We always said is we seen it. It is very cool. That's all I really want to say. If you're gonna want to collect, it's gonna be like a Pokemon. You want them all. So like that's what I set up. As soon as like those come out, I love filling my shelves with physical boxes. If I have to buy 10 brain duels out of a store because I see them on the shelf, I'm gonna do it. Because I just want them.
I don't think I'll go that far, man.
Well, think of that. We said that too about Spiker Super Pro Volleyball on the original television. I've seen it a million times going, why would I ever want a volleyball on Intellivision? Now it's going for $2,000 a copy.
Wow.
So I think of stuff like that when you see like a game. Well, I know. Well, I got one for you.
Well, I mean, I could see getting more than one copy, but I couldn't see picking up like 10 copies, right? I feel like that's a
Which is why
that's a bit
Ten's a
much.
little
I
overkill.
picked up this fantastic title for the Wii, Per Pals.
Okay,
Ooh,
that
that-
finally came in focus. That was just a white blur for a second.
And you're gonna.
That is my
have
favorite game.
It is my favorite, and it's now up to. It's worth about $1.25 right now.
Whoa.
So get it now. because this is
Imagine
gonna go up.
a year from now. Like a
Wow.
cool $1.35.
I know.
Woo!
What if it went to $2, almost doubling your money?
Whoa. Thank God
Hey,
I'm
hey,
wearing
don't get-
pants because
don't
you
get
just
crazy,
you got
man.
me excited.
But anyways, oh man, I was about to.
When do you think we'll be able to start pre-ordering games and accessories? Hey, Lance. I'm not sure. I think they want to wait till they've got a firm date for launch before they start doing that. And even then, I don't know if you're going to be able to get a hold of extra controllers to start. I think any controllers they get, they're going to be packaging them with consoles
Right.
to
and I think
begin.
even Rab was talking about that on. He was talking about a couple points, and that was one of his things. He goes, "Yeah, I think we all kind of think that. Like, I think anything to get the console out with the controllers, instead of having going, man, we got all these base units. If only we had more controllers.
If only we had more
And
controllers.
they have like a stockpile of just the extra controllers.
Right.
Yeah, speaking of, I'm actually curious. What's your guys' thoughts on dealing? Obviously the economy is not doing fantastic. This has been brought up a million times, and I'm curious what your guys' thoughts is on if you sold it with one controller. You've heard this a million times. What's your take on that? The idea of use your phones, as the other controllers. You get one down. That way you can bring the price down by $60 or whatever.
You can't.
You want that experience of the.
The machine needs to.
Okay.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that just because of because the inclusivity of what they want to do. Having at least two physical controllers is
The whole point is multiplayer.
yeah,
You
it kind
can't
of
do that
sells
with
the
one.
multiplayer aspect. And yeah, you can use your phone, but even when you use your phone, there's another thing that we couldn't film that you kind of want to have attached to it because they have, like, it's like an accessory that you can use with your phone to make it easier to play the games with your phone.
We saw like prototype pictures of them on, I think, Amico All Access. Like,
Well,
back in the summer.
and I've seen them physically, at least as they were,
Yeah, me too.
and
yeah.
and they're really good.
Oh yeah.
For what they are, but they're not going to really fully replace. You don't get that fine motor control you get with a controller, right? So there's going to be certain games where if you're using your phone versus using the actual controller, you're going to be at a slight disadvantage.
Yeah.
I feel like for like a new player, it won't be as big of a deal because you're going to be inexperienced enough that you're not going to notice that difference, right? But the more you play it and the more you play with both controllers, the more you're going to be like, man, I really want an actual controller.
Yeah, I really like. I agree. It's the controllers are the experience. To have like a game like the Emoji game or some of like the games where it's not control, but it's more like using.
Yeah, Emoji Charades works great on
Perfect with the phone.
on the phone.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
even
how
need-
that's how I played it, and it works brilliantly there. And I actually love the idea of that game because there's no limit to the number of people you can have play that game. Like literally, you can have like
Sure.
you can have like 30, 60, 70 people, and you can just have people shouting out guesses while one person controls it. And then you can just hand it off to somebody else, and then they can take their turn. Like,
You play in groups.
absolutely
You can
no
play in-
limit.
You can play in teams. That's the kind of cool
Yeah.
thing. You could have 20 people and have a team of 10 and a team of 10, and that games like that are gonna be this system seller, man. I keep saying that. I love this. I will end up with a staggering amount of controllers. I know you will, sir. I know you will. I don't know if I'll have that. I'll have enough. I'll probably, if I'm gonna have like I'll even have two. If I get a third unit, 6 controllers, I'm probably gonna be in pretty good shape. Someone
Well,
with
isn't there a limit to how many controllers you can tie to one console anyway?
I thought it was up to 8, but I don't know what games cover that yet. That was the initial.
Wow, how did you find out that? That's like that. You guys got some good information. That's like a really deep detail.
Well, I mean, we've kind of asked these questions of
Yeah.
Well,
just
anybody
kinda-
that we could get like on the channel,
Right.
like Amico After Dark, we had John Alvarado on there, so we made sure to ask as many technical questions as we could.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Just to try to get as much information out there as we could about it that was, reasonable for him to answer, right? We didn't want to put him under the gun where he felt like he was answering something that he really shouldn't be saying anything about.
He seems like a really good, genuine, nice
He's
guy.
everybody we've interviewed and everybody
Everyone.
I've met from this company is a hell of a nice person. Like all of them. You're genuinely nice people.
Daniel's saying it's 4 because it might have been switched down to 4. Because I know the original intent was 8, but yeah, so it might be 4. Which to me, if you even look like stuff on Cloudy Mountain, that's only like a 3-player game. Because when you get too many people in there, then it just becomes clustered, So I couldn't see playing 8 people on some games. So 4.
Well, and I think part of that has to do with like their Bluetooth connector and like how many devices can sync at the same time too, because they're all connected via Bluetooth. So while there's not a major limit on the number of devices that can connect via Bluetooth, depending on the protocol and the type of transmitter you have, you could have, I guess, detrimental effects to gameplay if you had too many using that bandwidth at the same time.
Yeah.
And that might be another reason why.
Well, yeah.
If I get one, it's going to be so sad. I'm going to have to play like sad piano music as I unbox it and put the controller next to a puppet, a lifeless puppet. That's my second player.
Now I
It needs to go like gray. It needs to go like gray, and you can have some rain effects.
So total 8.
You say you're okay, but you're really not okay.
I have friends.
So you could pair 4 phones with 4 Amico controllers for a total of 8.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so those type of games, like the trivia, like I said, that Bomb Squad. I mean, I am really I have high expectations for Bomb Squad, so I hope it comes out well.
Do you guys know any details on that? Like what's
Other than what it's about?
I don't know what it's about.
Well, okay, so basically, there was an old. Do you remember any of the old Intellivision stuff?
Some of it, but definitely not Bomb Squad.
So Bomb Squad was one. It had an IntelliVoice thing, and it was pretty funny because the guy would be like, "The code," in that weird Intellivision voice, would be like, "The code, the code. You gotta find out the code," and then it'd be like, "Replace," and it would show a circuit board, and then you had a soldering iron and parts and clamps. They go, "Replace this first, this second, this third," and you'd have to cut the solder joints. And then you'd have to find the part that would most likely fit in there. If you try to find the one that was most similar, because they'd be different. And then you'd solder it in. And if you put it in there, and it would start ticking down even faster. You're like, "Oh shit, I put the wrong part." And then you'd have to cut it out again. And that was part of it. And then you had to decipher this code. And there was like a way to do that. I haven't played it in years. And then at the end, you defuse the bomb by replacing parts. So I guess in this new one for multiplayer, what they had a little trailer on it. And talked that you'll have, so basically it'll use all the functions the controller, which they.
Oh, that's cool.
So you got the
lights,
dial,
the microphone,
the speaker, the touch screen. So what it's kind of showing, and they haven't shown full gameplay, but they just showed features. So they showed, I think in the E3 trailer, they showed a quick thing of it, and it looks so realistic now too. So it's like a circuit board, and there's someone soldering, and pulling parts, and then it showed someone that had all different colored wires on the screen and had to figure out which one to cut through. So you go like that with your finger and it cuts the wire. So I'm sure it's going to, and I think even Tommy and some people were talking about it. So it's going to be like someone's going to, have to do a code over here while someone cuts the wire at the same time. And then, so you're going to be yelling at, "No, don't cut the blue wire." And then you're trying to turn the dial and someone else.
Imagine if it blew up your Amico if you got it wrong.
That's what it does.
Well, the Amico is the bomb.
You actually open up an Amico, and Amico is the bomb, and then the lights and stuff are interacting with you during the whole time on that one.
Yeah, the console itself is the bomb, so it starts flashing and going and vibrating and doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's like you said on the screen, that is the bomb you're trying to
The closest thing that game reminds me to is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's called Don't Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
It's a VR version of it, I think.
Yeah. And it's a VR version of the same thing where you basically got a box and you can flip it around and there's all these different mini puzzles you have to solve. And somebody has the manual that has to walk you through how to defuse this as you describe what you're seeing to them. right? So it's all about you communicating back and forth in order to get through and solve this whole thing. It reminds me a lot of that, just you've got more players engaged, right?
But
Yeah,
dude,
that's a perfect use of the controller too.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant use for the controller. I think that one's going to be a sleeper hit. I know a lot of people have been kind of like, I don't know on that one, and I'm like, dude, I think this is going to... You get this with the right group, and you get them playing it and shouting back and forth, and you're going to have like 3 or 4 people go out and buy a system just to be able to get drunk and try to defuse this thing. It'll be hysterical.
And that's
to be clear, you're not promoting children getting drunk while they're playing their Amigo, right?
Depends
All right,
on what
that's
country
the
you're in.
I think
If you're
Space
in
Team
France-
would be an awesome
If you're
party
in France
game as
or
well.
in space, it might be legal.
Oh, totally legal up here. Yeah, we give no Fs up here.
Have any of you played Space Team? It's a mobile
No.
game.
I'm not.
So everybody on their screen has different controls, and you're given an instruction, but that instruction might not be on your screen, so you have to shout the instruction out because somebody has it. And so just to give you an example, there might be a switch on somebody's screen called the flipper widget, and the instruction to flip the flipper widget is on your screen, so you have to say it so whoever has it can flip it. Or turn the magnet duo or whatever to 3, and somebody's got that. So you say it and somebody has to do it. And you're trying to basically launch your ship and keep it flying through space because all of these radiation stuff keeps affecting your ship and breaking down, and some of your controls break, and so you have to like rotate it back into place and hold it there for a little bit to fix it, and slime starts oozing out of some of the controls, and it's just really a great party game.
Anytime you can get a bunch of people to interact playing a game, like, and whether it be a board game or a drinking game or a silly holiday game or something, like I said, my family's so into that stuff, and it's fun. I'm not into usually too many board games anymore. Like as a kid, I was a lot. But something like this, where it's like a digital version of a board game, like or something.
I play so many board games by myself, and I can't tell you how many times I've lost. It's pathetic.
Man,
it's so sad.
So you beat yourself.
Basically, in many other ways.
That's where I was as a kid.
That reminds me of the that Pixar short where the guy's playing chess with himself. It's like my favorite short they've ever done.
What was I going to say? We were talking. Just to answer you guys, I know I've been so busy, but is the album released yet? Next Wednesday's show, I will debut another song in its entirety over great streaming quality, so it won't be that great a quality, so don't try to copy it. And then I will let you know the announcement of the website. You can buy it. So next Wednesday, if we should be up and running to buy the album digitally, and then hopefully sometime before or around Christmas, some physical stuff.
Oh wow, you're doing physical, nice.
I want to do some vinyl.
Wow.
Do like a vinyl single and a vinyl of the album. Like a single if I Want My Amico with a B-side, maybe like Night Stalker, and then have the full album on a vinyl. Like I really love that, just because I know we're all collectors, and I thought that would just be something to just remember this whole community and just this everything that we've been doing, and
that could be cool.
And just some more in television fun stuff. Yeah, then going about is there's some chance Founders about be more likely Q1. Yeah, I think that's more realistic. I think they're going to try their hardest to get Founders out. I think if anything, there's 2,600 Founders, that would be the easiest. Would be the Founders. Because you can't just pick and choose, because then it's going to be like, well, so it's either one group, it's either the very first group that invested into it. If they could do Founders and like VIP, that would be amazing. But I think if anything comes out this by end of year, it's going to be Founders. If not, it's like.
But wouldn't you say there's almost a little bit of a danger in that, though? In that, what if they, if they don't know how many they're going to be able to release next year, let's say, and then the founders get it, and like, let's say it takes a really long time, that could be dangerous to the brand, no? If you're just having people sit on it for like 8 months or however long.
Well, kind of, but the VCS kind of did a similar task.
Oh, they did?
Right?
Okay.
They did,
Yeah. They hit a lot of their Kickstarters first, a lot of the early Kickstarters, and then they kept feeding them out to their Kickstarters, and it was like 6 to 8 months past that or later when you actually saw any of them in a retail store at all.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they got your music on the store. And with the lights, the Amico lights. Woo!
There you go. It's almost a game in itself for your ears.
Whoa!
What?
Hey, hope you're watching.
TM.
Yeah,
I think a
I've
karaoke game would be cool on Amico,
Yeah.
There you go. Hey.
where it can
Oh,
totally
dude.
disco ball, the lights flashing all over,
And you'd have a
and your
microphone.
controller can be your microphone. Yeah.
You got your screen for your words, and you got the microphone built in your controller. All right, we're on our way to Head Television headquarters.
I think that would actually be a good sell for be able to put it in things like bars and stuff like that, because you could have a whole group doing emoji charades. You'd have a bunch of like drunk fools in the area like playing this thing, trying to do emoji charades, which would be hysterical. I know it's not the image
I
that
thought this
it
was a
was portrayed, but it
family-friendly
would be really
machine.
funny.
Yeah, I don't think anything before. You say before October 2022.
I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate, to be honest.
I don't really.
In my opinion, I don't even want to.
I
I don't
don't
want to
agree to
speculate. When it's ready, they'll bring it out. I'm okay with them taking the old school Blizzard approach of when it's ready. I think more people should do that.
And that's a great point too. So many videos can be made by folks that have their founders, and it's more advertising for people that either get interested, finally see more close up in depth stuff. But I mean, I'm hoping. I think if anything, the founders would be the easiest because it's 2,600 units, and that's it. It's not.
Well,
like
and especially if you get a lot of those people that have founders, particularly the ones that have channels, doing their own competitions or getting together to like do like little tournaments and stuff where they're showing up, they're doing something like what I was describing earlier and stuff like that. That builds more hype than anything, you know. And then you got other people in chat laughing, having a good time with it. I think that would start to get and keep hype going. So long as you could have some software coming out to.
Everyone, find those turkeys and birds and quick pick up and put away at the stock.
I have no idea what you said, but I totally agree.
Are you downstairs from a bar, or a Walmart? Where are you?
We
I
we
think you're
have
low.
the Alexa, so we use it as an intercom system.
That makes more sense.
Never use mine that
Here's
way.
something I found on the web. According to Epic.com,
I think you guys are lowballing the number of videos that Pete is going to do on this when he gets his hands on one. I think 100 is lowballing
I
him.
just hope All Access comes back. Hey, did you know someone did a similar album for Vectrex some years back?
That's an album I need to hear.
Dude, I would love to hear a Vectrex one. I'd always wanted.
That's like for an audience of 10 people in all of history.
I think it looks cool.
Oh, it looks awesome.
It's amazing.
Oh, what's up, Justin? They need the store up too. If you ask about the yeah, of course.
Well, they're not going to release the console until they have the store
Yeah,
up.
the store's gonna have.
That's just a given. There's no way they're going to release this without the store up.
Otherwise, that would be a very boring video for founders if they got it. They just play with the UI.
I'm not even well.
The 6 games that come with it.
It would make logistically being able to buy anything very, very hard.
Yeah.
The wait is tough. I mean, it's like for all of us. It's just, I mean, I got so much stuff to play in between. It's like I don't really mind. I know we're getting close. You know, it's just.
Dude, there's been like 5 brand new games this generation that came out that I haven't even touched yet, and I've got Metroid Dread coming that I'm probably not going to touch until I get through this month or a little bit deeper in, because I've got like all these older games that I'm trying to finally finish on top of the Diablo 2 re-release and all this. There's no shortage of stuff to play.
Oh yeah, I know. Like, we need an Animal House Flounder edition.
Flounder edition?
I've been saying that forever.
Why not? I'm pretty
The
sure.
Flounder edition for Shark.
Dude. don't know. Yeah, no.
I'm not saying the VCS was like the pinnacle of launches. I'm just saying that because it was taking them so long to get the system out, they did do something to get something to the people that supported them, that made the console happen. They were the first one to get their hands on it before they got it to the store. And especially when you're doing something like, say, Kickstarter, it's really important to handle your backers before you do your product into a major market.
I'm buying arcade one-ups now. My own arcade is coming. Then I can be more patient.
There's an exclamation point that you have to shout that. Then I can be more patient. You have to do that.
But anyways, I think I'm going to call it. We're at about an hour and a half. I think it was a very, very fun evening. It was great getting to talk with Bob on his experience. And, man, I really want to play the pool game now. Like that's
really fun.
I think that one's going to be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Did you get any footage of it, man?
Unfortunately, no. I was too enthralled in playing and watching everybody having fun that I didn't whip out a phone. So,
hey Max,
hey, what's going on?
You caught the very tail end, Max.
We're about to take off. Gosh darn it, all the heck! And I'm sorry I had to use that music. Wow. I think I might need to eat something. With that being said, good to see you. I want to thank PANDSUB2000. I don't really have an echo effect. So. And Geeks with Cash, Mr. Nick, as always. And George Games. Bob, thank you for being our guest today, tonight, whatever time it is. And,
it was a pleasure.
Talking about your experience. So,
can I do a shameless plug real quick?
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Anyone, anything that's going on with your channels, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm working actually on we've got Howdy Amico coming up in November, but I have an Amico episode coming out probably next week on a really cool topic I think is going to be interesting. And then on October 25th is going to be a really, really big Halloween episode on my channel. I really hope you check that out. So that's it for now. Thank you.
Mr. Nick, what do you got going on?
I've been struggling to try to come up with a format that I think is going to work for my first ever movie review, which is turning into more work than I thought, partially because nobody wants to see that.
Hannah does.
An audience of one
Preferably
wants
also
to see
eating.
that.
Shirtless eating.
This is a whole new turn for my channel. So I've been struggling to do that. I've been doing a little bit more live streaming because I'm trying to make the channel a little bit more focused around Ghostbusters, and I'll probably throw Luigi's Mansion in there at some point this month. So it's a little bit more focused on streaming, particularly this week, which is why it's been so hard for me to get uploads done, because I've streamed every night this week so far.
Yeah, man, like a maniac.
So it's kind of hard to like sit down and write stuff and then reread it. I'm trying to do it when I'm working overnight, but I'm so exhausted that I have to like go back and look at it and go, does this make this? Is this even a sentence? So there's that problem. But hopefully I'll have something to upload by the end of this week. I don't know how I'm going to focus this month or not. I kind of meant to be a lot more ahead of the game than I was. And then it got to the very end of September when I was finishing up the Contra thing, which I thought would be much quicker than it was. And I'm like going, crap, I'm behind again.
That was epic, dude. I have never beaten Contra without the code. I need to at least have.
Oh, yeah.
Like to go through that with your what they give you with that's
absurdity.
It's awesome.
Dude, it was super hard to pull off because I'm not really good at Contra. I mean, you can see from the first video, I kind of suck at Contra, and that was kind of the point, right? Is everybody goes, "Oh, this one's not that bad." Half the people in the retro community that I hang out with are going, Contra's about a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10," and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's a little higher than a 6, guys.
It's still like an 8.
Dude, I'd love to see you do Ghosts and Goblins next.
Oh God, I don't think I can handle that one. I have to get there twice.
Which version? Which version?
The NES version. It
Ouch.
made me break. I broke 2 controllers over that.
I don't like the NES version. If I want to play one, it's probably going to be the Genesis or the Super Nintendo one, or the resurrected one that came out. Those are genuinely like those. Sorry, what'd you say, George? I keep talking over you. Man.
Just the remake would be awesome.
Yeah,
and I have streamed that one a little bit, and that one's insanely hard too. Even having it on like the next to bottom difficulty, that game does not care. It's just gonna kick your butt.
Didn't they make an even harder mode than?
Oh yeah, the
original?
mode I was playing on was like the second to easiest mode. There's the legendary mode, which I think is like original Ghosts and Goblins, or like your armor doesn't even split up, you just die. Because in all the original games, like the Genesis version, the NES versions, and even the arcade, you can take 2 hits total, right? One breaks your armor off, and then the second hit kills you.
Yeah.
So you have to keep finding new armor, and then even in the later ones where you got the magical armor and like the gold armor, that didn't give you more hits. That armor just broke off, and then you had to go through all those upgrades again. So it's just a tough series, dude. It's fun, but Arthur's jumping is tricky. And at least the NES one is cheap as shit. It's super cheap.
Oh, dude, it's like I said, I've dented. We used to have as a child, we in our basement growing up.
5 days ago.
Just the other day.
Yeah.
Actually, just before the stream.
Earlier today,
we had these. And I think everybody had them in the 80s. It was almost looked like a cottage chair and sofa with a coffee table, but they were cushions in the coffee table. There were cushions and everything, but the arms were all like finished oak or like wood, like stained wood. And I would sit in the one chair, and I was kind of a dick if you think about it at this point. I had my NES controller and everything. Get mad, I'd smash it on the chair, but it would dent into like the finished wood on the arm. To the point where it was so smashed up, it was like someone took a drill to it, and and then I'd my controller would keep breaking and breaking to the point where I could bend it like this, and it would click, and then eventually I snapped it. It kind of went like that, and I did that to 2 controllers, and most of it was over. Some of it was Karnov, and some of it was Mike Tyson's Punch Out, but the majority was because of Ghosts and Goblins. I never beat that game, and it enrages me.
By the way,
shots it takes.
But by the way, if you haven't, and this is going to be a plug for Mr. Matthews, go to his channel.
Okay.
He's beaten it on the NES, and he did one better. The Famicom version is even harder.
Oh wow!
And he beat that version.
Oh wow! Nice.
I kept trying to. I can't remember if I ever got, because I was trying to it, like one of the streams that you guys were talking, and I was trying to add him, and I couldn't find him. Like I knew what his name was, but a million other types of Matthews came up, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I'll get you. I got his link. I'll get you his link.
I really want it, because if I had, I can't remember if I ended up subbing to him, but I kept trying to find it.
I'll get you his link. I'll throw it in the private chat. That way you can find it.
I would love to see some of that type of stuff.
Yeah, he's him, Manza Power, 21 Savage. Those guys are all really good at going through the games. Captain Algebra is another one that's pretty good. Alpha Nerd is really fun to watch. He's another one from Canada. He's a really good guy. He's been doing, and he's doing some of it now, or he was a little while ago. He's been streaming a lot of Diablo 2. He's been really keen.
Seems like everybody was. Phoenix was doing that the other day. Someone else was doing it too. But Diablo, that remake Diablo, was it you, Nick? Was you streaming?
Yeah, I've streamed it a couple of times. I've streamed it twice. I'm not doing like my full run on stream. As I find a night that I can do some streaming, I'll try to work it in during the week. And because I did one impromptu stream on Sunday, and I think I did one on the Thursday it came out. So those are the 2 that I've done on it. I've gotten my main character into Act 3 now, and I've mostly been trying to not do the quest because I want to stream a lot of Act 3. So I've just been grinding levels and exploring. So I'll probably do another stream with that. I don't know if that'll be Thursday or if that'll be another Sunday thing.
I just wanted to say real quick that I don't really have any like stories of breaking things or throwing temper tantrums with games, but I did have a moment many years ago when I was working on a film and my computer kept crashing and some wiring in my brain snapped where I couldn't take anymore, and I almost methodically and robotically walked to my window. I opened it up. I pulled my entire computer out and just threw it out the window. And then my brain came back and I went, "Oh, that's pretty problematic."
Right. I like how you go. It's problematic.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I've never broken a computer. I have broken controllers.
that was a little pricey.
The main one that I really got upset with, and my parents were so pissed at this. I was playing my Genesis one day. I was so pissed I whipped the controller to the side and it hit the wall. And you know how you had that sheetrock? It left an indentation of the side of the controller, including the seam between the two pieces in the wall.
Oh my. Okay, I got to say this, and then we'll go. I had and if Justin's still in chat, one of my buddies. I had an Xbox 360 Slim right before they were about to stop the 360 and the new one was going to come out. They put out the Slim ones, and I was using it for streaming. Mostly, I think we played some Grand Theft Auto and some other stuff, but it was mostly down here. It was sitting on top of my fridge, which at the time it was, and then I have all these TVs hooked up, and then a big TV, or at the time I think it was a projector for streaming like WWE and pay-per-views and stuff like that. Well, it would, if you know what would happen is like it would say sorry. Now, mind you, my Wi-Fi is right next to it, so it's like it would be like sorry, like right as someone's about to pin someone, it was like starts buffering and says sorry, cannot connect to internet. Please re-enter password. I'm like, no, you don't. And it kept doing that, and I reset it. Went to Xbox.com. Please visit Xbox.com. That's that made my brain like go nuts because I go. Yeah, and it would do it. And I did all these things, called them up, called the hotline, get everything reset, and I had to keep resetting it. Finally, this big pay-per-view comes. I go, dude, if this happens again and it says, please visit Xbox.com, I am going to Office Space my Xbox 360. He's like, you would never, dude. Didn't you just spend like $400 on it or whatever it was at the time? And I go, dude. He goes, I'll join you. I go, yeah, it'll be fun to break something nice, isn't it? And soon enough, I start streaming the pay-per-view, and it goes, something went wrong. Please visit Xbox.com. I pulled it off. I go, Gah! And started stomping it. The disk drive's flying into pieces. And so we both just started dropping elbows and stomping it, hitting it with stuff, throwing it across the room.
There's something about politeness. There's something about politeness when you're frustrated that makes you even more frustrated. So when it says like we're sorry, but like it's that really elevates you.
But it was like if I see that effing message come up,
it's like I don't want you to be polite. I want you to fix the problem.
I fixed the problem. I eliminated the problem. It is gone.
It's particles.
I don't know. I even though I loved the 360, I ended up like a couple of those because I did have one red ring on me. And it would have been nice to have a channel at that point because I really could have just booted it up, let it red ring, and then just go off on it and go, by the way, I already replaced this.
Yeah, Justin, true story. So you remember that we Office Space that thing. Like I almost wanted to play the song.
Hey, Ben.
Oh my goodness. But anyways, with that being said.
Yeah, we should call it.
Oh, Bob, do you have anything that you got going on your channel coming up?
Well, I do want to make a video on my experience down there at Thanksgiving Point. And hopefully soon I'll be making videos on making games. Because I did start a mini school of teaching people how to make games. So
Nice.
That's sweet, man. And please sub to George Games, Geeks with Cash, and PANDSUB2000. Even though he has 1 million, don't let him fool you. He needs
5 million.
5 million. I'm sorry.
It's weird. It only says like 300. I'm talking to YouTube about that error. Yeah, no, I don't share. I don't share, man. Sorry.
So selfish.
So selfish. Yep.
And this is another.
You paid them all off too.
At my old house before, we had. I used to have some crazy parties and bands play and stuff like that. And at the end of the one party, it was a Halloween party. We had a buddy. I just have to say this because I haven't heard about this story in a while, and he just brought it up. we had a buddy that like knew someone that from a farm, and he came with like a truckload of pumpkins, and we had like 15 to 20 jack-o'-lanterns all over the front lawn with a graveyard scene and everything.
Cool.
Well, that evening it was like later on at night after trick or treating and everything was going on. We shut off the porch light in my basement at my other house. Even growing up, I had like a little party place. We had a band play. Anyways, I brought all the jack-o'-lanterns in and set them all over, like, the amps, all over the tables, all over the bar and everything, on the arcade games, whatever. And there was just so many jack-o'-lanterns. Well, it was getting close to the end of the night, and there was like maybe 10 people there. And I was like, man, I forgot what it was. It was like I wanted people to like get out of my house, but because there was like too many people there. And what I used to do, because there were so many people there all the time, I used to pretend like it wasn't my house. And I'd be like, I used to go up and be like, dude, screw this guy. What's with the games? Who is he? And then so like people were just kind of hanging out, being stupid and drunk. So I was like, you know what? I'll freak him out. I go, Justin, let's grab some pumpkins and start smashing them. So I picked up a pumpkin, I threw it against the wall, and it goes, and these guys are like, whoa! And they're like, I'm like, come on! I'm like, let's trash the place. And then they were all like, oh! And everybody laughed, but we smashed all these pumpkins, and it was just as fun as smashing the Xbox. It was not fun, I tell you, cleaning it up the next morning. I went,
what would you have done if they joined in and smashed up your entire place? If you just started a riot.
Mostly,
you didn't think that far.
Well, most of the people, it was like always people that I trusted, but they bring a couple friends. And it always started off with, it was a tile floor. It was a basement. It was kind of grungy, but I would always have like a drink or like what did I have? What was it like? No, I have like a can of beer or something. I go like this, and I'd be like. And it was just like the party was starting. I'd like test people to see if they were dicks, kind of like. And I'd take a drink, and I'd be like, you know what? Who is this guy, anyways? What is with this? I'm like, and they're like, I don't know. I just know someone that knows the guy that owns the place. I go, well, they're like, and I go, we should just like, I go, I'm gonna throw my beer at the wall. And they're like, don't do that. I'm like, no. I'm like, who does this guy think he is? Like, he's got like, is he supposed to like, what? Like, I don't even care, man. Do you even know the band? And they're like, no, but like, I wouldn't do that. And then I pick up like a little shot glass and I threw it at the wall and I threw my beer there, and they went over and like told on me, and then they're laughing. They come up, they go, "You own the place," like stuff like that. It was just back in those days. I was nutty and crazy. I don't do that shit anymore, but.
Remind me never to invite you to my place.
Oh, I would never, dude. No, that was like I don't know what it was. I guess I would just test because a lot of times I'd have like about 40 or 50 people in a basement that shouldn't hold 40 or 50 people. And have a band playing, and it got to the point where friends would invite friends and invite friends.
Right. And
I used to just do that just to see the type of people that were coming over. But every time, I've never had anybody that said, "Yeah, I agree. Let's break something." Because that'd be terrible. But
don't call the fire marshal.
Yeah. I had God bless my neighbors because they went through back at my old house. They went through a lot. People just stumbling, walking into their houses. Is this where the party is? No, get out of my house.
Get out my lawn!
We'll do that on the next party stream. This is the Amigo Forever stream. Thank you, everyone. Please sub to these channels. Don't sub to me. I am terrible. You will not like me. I am not funny. Thanks, and we will see you next Wednesday.